If you've had a Twitter for a long time and the engagement's gone down, or you didn't use it for a while, or you've kind of pivoted topics a little bit, you've grown up, should you start a new Twitter or should you work with what you already have? So I've asked myself that question, and I have 2 periods of long inactivity on Twitter, and I had 17K followers, but my posts, when I went back to Twitter, my posts weren't getting engagement like they used to. And that makes sense, right? You know, as time goes on, people stop using Twitter, people change their interests. Maybe they're not interested in the things that they followed you for in the first place. And then likewise, you as the account owner might change the topics that you write about. So that led me to wonder, what do I do? And the answer to that for me was finding a solution that helped me identify inactive followers, remove them from my following and my follower list, and overall that all of the followers would be active again. So I did a bunch of searches. I tried a bunch of platforms. I tried to think of ways to do it manually, but my account had over 17,000 followers. I had previously whittled it down from about 21K to the 17K, but I knew there were still people that haven't used Twitter in years. There are accounts that aren't even on Twitter anymore. It says suspended, deactivated, they're banned, who knows? But I found a tool, and while I was using it, I said, look, I'm going to stop what I'm doing. I'm going to leave a little bit to do, and I'm going to demonstrate it. I'm going to record a video so that anybody with the same problem can take the same steps that I just took, clean up their Twitter account, get engagement back up, make sure no ghost followers are on their Twitter profile. So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to look at that tool. And just a quick note here that this app that I'm going to show you, UnfollowerStats, got hit when Twitter pulled their API. The later sections in this video give you tools that replace this app completely, so you'll still be able to do everything that I'm doing. But it was important for me to still include this footage because since this is the app that I started with, it gives you that cross-section view of what my account was sitting at and also goes over my rationale for what I was looking for when it comes to removing inactive and ghost following or follower accounts. Now you're going to see my dashboard here. It gives you some basic insights. This is me trying to whittle it down the first time I got active again. I was like, this is going to take forever. And this is when I finally signed up for premium, but I didn't really get on and use it right away. And then this is when I was like, you know, I'm just going to get it out of the way. And I'm doing the same thing for Facebook. I'm doing the same thing for Instagram. I'll have different videos on those, which if they're ready at the time of publishing, I'll add them to the pinned comment and the description if you're watching this on YouTube. Now here you can see I got serious starting last week, and you can see took care of a lot, and I'm going to show you exactly what I did. And I left some of it so you could see what I mean when I say that I've had Twitter for a very long time, I believe since 2008. So at the time of this video, that's like a decade and a half. Like, that's a long time. And when I went through some of the analytics on my follower list, who was following me. Now, followers is who follows you. Following is who you follow. So I know that's like some people use those interchangeably, like my following to refer to people that follow me. No, as far as this tool and as far as Twitter, followers are the accounts that follow your account, and following are the profiles that your account follows. What shocked me when I looked at these analytics was just how many accounts that follow me and also that I was following have not used Twitter in over 10 years. Now, before I decided to stop and record this process so you can see it, I already went through 25 pages. Those are ghost followers. Like, if they haven't used Twitter in 10 years, they're obviously not on there. Like, that is the most ghost a follower can be, besides being banned permanently. Now, if someone hasn't used Twitter in 10 years, they're obviously not on their Twitter timeline, seeing your tweets, liking your tweets, sharing your tweets, commenting on your tweets. You're getting no engagement, no impressions from that person at all. They're just a random follower account. The other thing is, if you've ever had fake followers for any reason, like I don't really care why, there might be a reason. This is a good tool to check it. But I think it's worth noting that the people that follow me are healthy accounts. They are real accounts. They're authentic accounts. But because I've never cleaned through my Twitter following, and I've had a Twitter for over a decade, these accounts that are older than 10 years almost look like fake followers, right? I have 17K followers, but my tweets get like 5 to 20 likes. Sometimes they get up there in like 100 if it picks up steam. But like, that's kind of a weird ratio, right? And I want to fix that. I don't want that. And I don't want my feed to be cluttered with people that are talking about things that I'm not interested in and who knows what. So there's some basic features here, right? Like, you can go and check and see people that you don't follow back that follow you, people that you follow that don't follow you back. Those are non-followers. So those are some good places to start. If you want to clean up your timeline, or you want to make your timeline something that's a two-way street, you might want to look at those sections first. You can also whitelist accounts if you don't want to remove them. That's really helpful if you're scared that you're going to remove someone that you're truly friends with. You can export the list if you'd rather use this data somewhere else outside of this app. But really the biggest two things that I think you want to start with is for both following and followers. Just go take a peek at your inactive followers and following. So what you would do to sort by that metric, you'll want to click over to this followers tab, which I'm already in. You can do the same process under following, whichever you want to start with. You'll go over to sort. And then you'll want to scroll down until you see this last activity filter. Do older to newer. Now, mind you, I've already cleared out over 25, probably 50 pages of people that haven't been active in over 10 years that follow my account. And I still have people following me, accounts following me that have not used Twitter in over 10 years, have not had any activity on Twitter in over 10 years. You can see they don't even have profile pictures. I don't know who these people are anymore, but they're clogging up my follower account and they're making it look like I have all these followers and nobody engages with my tweets. And I just don't want that clutter anymore. I want to clean it up. We want to get rid of the ghost followers. Now you have to block the account and then you can go and bulk unblock people. So you want to click this red to block the person and you want to go through these motions and you just keep clicking and clicking and clicking. And with the block, it's force unfollowing that person from your profile. Like still last activity 10 years, like all these last activity 10 years. And we'll just repeat that, we'll repeat that, we'll repeat that all the way down. And then just to show you, I'm not going to make you sit here while I do all my clicks. And I can probably click a lot faster when I'm not like, oh, people are watching me do this. But like let's go to page 8. Still 9 years since last activity. So I've already cleared out like 50 pages. I've already done this with about 4,000 accounts that were inactive. And with, I think, 50 profiles per page, I think. To go through 25 pages, you're removing 1,250 followers, inactive followers, ghost followers. Every time you clear out 25 pages of this, 50 profiles at a time, that's 1,250 followers that you're removing from your following, from your followers, that you're removing from your followers. So like, can you imagine? Like, let's just see like how many pages we have to go to. Remember, I've already done like 25 to 50 pages of this already, just from followers. I've also done the same thing with all of the mutual following I had that has not been active in up to 3 years. Still 9 years. I feel like I should work backwards to do this faster. Hold on, I'm going to shortcut this. So I'm going to go up to my URL bar and I'm on page 24. I'm going to see how many pages there are total by clicking last. So there's 337 pages of followers. I'm going to go to page 250 and see what our activity is at. Last activity 3 days. Oh my God, that's way better. That's what I like to see. Let's try 150. 2 years ago. So like I have about 150 pages that I expect I'm going to force unfollow myself. If these people decide they want to come back to Twitter, I mean, I don't really need them on my account unless they're still interested in what I'm talking about today. But just goes to show, I mean, 150 pages with 50 followers each. And remember, I've already removed about 4,000. That's another 7,500 ghost followers I'm going to be removing from my Twitter. Like, I'm honestly going to be so happy to get under 10K. I've already seen engagement increases since I've removed the first 5,000 or so people. So just think about it. I started with like 21, 22K followers. I've whittled it down using this to show me exactly who, what, when, where, how, whether someone's a ghost follower, an active follower, whatever. And remember, the point of this is if someone hasn't been active in 2 years, you know for sure they haven't interacted with your profile. Having them on your list, whether as a one-way follower or a mutual following, is doing nothing for your Twitter engagement. It's just amping up your number. And like, I've never had this happen to me, but I really don't want someone looking at my account and thinking like, how does she have all these followers and nobody's like liking her posts? And I don't want the algorithm to think that either. I want the algorithm, when they pick a sample of my followers to send my content to, they're active, they're posting on Twitter, they're using Twitter. So right here, I've identified a huge portion of my audience to clear out that I know for a fact is inactive. This tool is not showing me if this person's interactive with my account, but if someone hasn't done any activity in Twitter in over 2 years, I know for a fact they haven't interacted with any of my content, right? So boom, this is the first thing you should do to clear out inactive followers and fix your engagement on Twitter. and pick a threshold that you want. Like you can choose people that haven't been active in over 90 days. Like there's a lot of people that left at the end of 2022 because of Elon Musk. I don't care why, but a lot of people decided they were going to leave Twitter then. So that could be a spike of inactive followers on your account, maybe. Whatever you think is comfortable. I'm comfortable with a 6-month threshold, so I'm going to end up removing slightly more than last activity 2 years ago. I'll probably go a bit further than that. But pick a number that makes sense to you, stick with it, clear out those followers, clean up your account, get your engagement ratio up. The second thing you want to do, using the same sort, and you can do this under following. I've done this a little bit under my following. Use the sort and then do followers high to low. Now, remember, we're working from accounts that I also follow. So with the exception of about 93 accounts that I follow that don't follow me back, the majority of these are mutual followers. Two-way street. What I want to do is I want to get rid of mass follows. Like 12 years ago, maybe like 15 years ago, when Twitter first came out, you had to like follow a certain number of people and a certain amount of people had to follow you for you to continue following the accounts that you wanted to keep following. Like it had to be mutual. So a lot of the earliest accounts that I followed were just a mutual two-way street for no reason, whether we had common interests or not. It was a stupid practice, but hey, it was 12 years ago, who knew better? Now we have much more sophisticated algorithms who don't really want to see you just following people for the sake of following people. Plus, if I'm following 4,000 people, it's really hard for me to see tweets from accounts I want to see tweets from. That's a lot of accounts. My timeline's going to be filled, and it's harder for me to engage with what I like. Likewise, all these people that I follow that follow me back, if they follow a ton of people, they're hardly ever going to see my content on their timeline. And just anecdotally, when I sort it this way, I don't recognize half these people anymore. Maybe I knew them 10 years ago, but we don't interact now, and I want to clear that out. What I'm going to do is remove what we call mass following. So these are people that you're following or that follow you or both that follow a ton of people and just aren't likely to see your content. There's too much noise on their timeline. So it's not probable that they're even going to see or interact with your content. So they're likely to be ghost engagement. And getting rid of them will mean that we have more active, more likely to engage and see your content followers left over. So from following or from followers, we're going to sort followings high to low. Now, instantly you can see this person's following 1.3 million people. Like, when are they ever going to see my tweets? However, I'm going to leave them because this account I see show up on under Twitter as, maybe I can show an example. So I'm going to go to DJ King Assassin and I'm going to find a random follower that I don't follow. Like, I don't know this person, but you see how it says this here? Followed by DJ King Assassin and however many other people you follow. I don't know this person. I feel like it gives me some feeling of a mutual friend. If someone's looking at my profile and they're thinking about following me, I mean, there's a really good chance, this person's following a ton of people too. There's a really good chance that people considering following me might also be following this person. So I want that mutual thing to show up because mutual friends are power, right? And Twitter, by its algorithm, it's more likely to suggest tweets, content, new people to follow from someone that has a second-degree connection with you. So that way you can become first degree. So that's why I want to leave a few of those top high following counts here. I've also interacted with Lil B. I'm going to leave them. I've interacted with Baby Bash. I like Black and the Empire's content. But now we're getting into these profiles where it's just like, they're not major accounts. They're not that likely to trigger a mutual following notification. And I don't know them, so I don't want them following me. And I don't want to follow them anymore. I'm not going to force them to unfollow me, although maybe I should. But I'm at the very least, going to unfollow. I don't know these accounts. And I've cleaned through some of these already, but I did leave a few examples for me to demonstrate. I want to find a really even one. This account has a really evenly matched 4K followers, 4K following. So if I'm going to unfollow them, they're probably going to unfollow me too. I can just force unfollow them. I can go and unblock them later. Yeah, I had about 5 pages of accounts that followed more than 25,000 other accounts. Over the weekend, I went and unfollowed all of them. I'm considering force unfollowing them, but I'm going to do that through the followers metric where you can sort it the same way. And for our purpose here, I want to reduce my following. So I don't want to be following 5,000 accounts anymore. I want to actually see the same people that I'm interested in seeing their tweets, seeing what they're up to. And this is probably one of the best ways because I don't recognize a lot of these names. I'm going to go down my list and remove a few more. If I don't know the person at all, like I got to clear you out. I don't recognize your name. You don't interact with my tweets. And you follow so many people. Again, I whittled down anyone that was following 10K profiles that I'm not personally interested in continuing to follow their content, right? There's obviously people that are going to have a huge profile that you want to see, you want to stay connected with. Maybe you want to keep a few for that little also followed by blurb that Twitter will add when they're looking at your profile. But besides those two factors, anybody else that's following 10K people, I would say 5K, I would say even 2,500 people. If you want active engagement, people that are following 10K profiles just aren't statistically likely to be shown your content as much as someone that only follows 300 Twitter users. Whether they want to see your content or not, if they aren't being shown it because Twitter has 10,000 other profiles to pull tweets from, then these people just don't have the opportunity to interact with your content, even if they would if they saw it. So that's the second thing you should do. If you do want to whitelist certain people that you follow that don't follow you back, and you don't want to just unfollow them just because they're not following you back, what you want to do is go over to this non-followers tab and use this whitelist button. So I like Dr. Moxie. I don't ever want to unfollow Dr. Moxie. I'm going to add them to my whitelist. So that way, at least while I'm using UnfollowerStats, they're not going to pop up in a way that I can unfollow them or block them or whatever else. So by doing this, you can preserve the connections you want to have, even if they would fall into one of those filters you're using to remove people. And by the way, if you want to unblock accounts that you've blocked to remove people without triggering follow and unfollow actions, what you do is go to your account, look for the settings and support, then click settings and privacy, then you'll look for privacy and safety, find the blocked accounts list, and then you can go ahead and unblock anyone you want to unblock. The cool thing about using block to force unfollow followers is blocks aren't treated the same way as a follow or an unfollow. If you unfollow a bunch of people at one time, I think Twitter has a really generous limit. Instagram and Facebook are a lot more strict. I think Twitter honestly lets you follow or unfollow like 500 people a day. But with the block, that's not really part of their terms of service. You can block as many people as you want. So these actions, if you force block someone to remove them from your followers, and you come and unblock them, you can kind of knock that all out in one sweep. I only took a break because I'm doing it with like 4,000 people. That's a huge scale because I started with the 21K. If you're going to do this and you have about 300 people that you remove, you can knock this out in one day and you can end your UnfollowerStats subscription. You've paid for it once and you can get it done right away. It's totally worth it. You're not doing any manual work besides the clicks. And you don't need to sit here and see me do this, but I would do this for the 300 remaining people that I want to unblock. So when Twitter made their API changes, I had to find new tools. It was actually a pretty difficult search, but I found two that replace everything that UnfollowerStats was able to do. So we're going to look at those next two tools, and I'm also going to cover two additional tips and tricks to make it way easier to go through your inactive followers and revive your Twitter account. So let's take a look at the first tool, which is going to be FollowerSearch. Now with FollowerSearch, you will have to run a report by typing in your name. You're not going to sign into your account. You're going to go to the Sort Followers tab, search your own profile, and then once it generates the report, click View Report. For me, it took about 5 minutes to generate. And by default, it's going to sort by the most followers. What you're going to want to do is sort it by tweets. With this tool, we don't have a last activity date, so sorting it by tweets and seeing who has 0 tweets is a good indication of people that are not active on Twitter. Now, what I did was I'm going to hold Control. I'm on a PC, and I clicked each of the names from that page of results to open up tabs for each of the accounts. I'm working one page at a time. And then I'm clicking this 3 dots, and I'm clicking the Remove Follower and confirming I want to remove. As I'm going, you can see that these people either have no tweets at all, they haven't liked anything. Most of them created their accounts pretty much a decade ago and just never did anything with Twitter. So they're just clogging up my followers list. They're ghost followers by definition. So there we've removed one page of inactive accounts, and we're back over on FollowerSearch. And with FollowerSearch, each page is 50, so every time you do this process, you'll be removing 50 followers and or following if you're also following the account. To do another page, you would do the same thing, hold Control to open up all of these results. You can still see on the right-hand sidebar that these are people that have never made a tweet. For me, remember, I created my Twitter over a decade ago. I had tons of people that hadn't used Twitter in over 10 years. If your account is relatively new, looking for accounts that use 0, 10, 20 tweets or less is a good way to kind of find fake or bot accounts or company accounts that are just trying to create a placeholder account. Most people that have tweeted 100 times are probably still active if your account's less than 2 years old. But if your account is older than that, someone could have tweeted 100 times back in 2013 and then stopped using Twitter since. So you kind of have to play with your individual account's age and the threshold you want to use for this step. And because the amount of sort followers reports that you can run is limited, and because FollowerSearch is a monthly billing, the other thing that you could do is you could actually download as a spreadsheet the entire list without any filters applied. But there is one problem with the way that FollowerSearch exports their data. The joined date column is actually text. It is not date format. However, I want to show you how to quickly sort how old an account is in a spreadsheet. So to do that, I'm going to pick an arbitrary start date that I know will mean a Twitter account was created a really long time ago. So I'm just going to use January 1st, 2007. And then we're going to use the function date and days function. And what that'll do is that'll tell us the total number of days, the difference between these two dates, our arbitrary date and the date that a given account was created. You want to make sure you copy the arbitrary date all the way down the column, and then you're going to hover over your results, click the little square, and then use that to drag the formula all the way down to the bottom of the column. And if you have a lot of accounts, you'll be scrolling for a while. If you don't have so many, it's pretty quick to do. And then once you've applied the formula down the entire list, you'll see that all of the calculations have been made for each individual row. I'm going to insert one column left, and then I'm going to highlight my formula column, copy it, select the new column I just created, and then click Paste Special, Values Only. Now what this does is this just brings over the numbers and it removes that formula. That way, if we rearrange anything, the formula doesn't try to pull from different columns. It's not exactly a necessary step, but it's helpful if you plan to delete any rows or columns or move anything around later. You won't break your formula. Now what we're going to do is with this final column that we created where we have these like negative day differences, we're going to sort them. And basically what we want to look for is the greater the day difference, the newer the account is. And the smaller the difference, the older the account is. Forget the negative value, that's just because of the order that we did the difference calculation in, but really we want to work with the smallest absolute number, which means it's an older account. It was created closer to that arbitrary date of January 1st, 2007. Now the beauty of this is if you look, the column with the account creation date that we were able to export is now actually sorted in order. Whereas we couldn't sort that in order before because it was text-based, it was going to sort it by the day, not the year and then the day. So something from May 12th of 2007 would end up sorted in the same space as something from May 12th, 2023. And we don't want that. We want it in pure chronological order. So that's why we took that step. And then again, just choose your threshold, go through the accounts that you say are too old, load them up into Twitter, and quickly look at their recent tweets and their likes, verify that they have not been active in a long time. Most of these accounts that are very old, I'm finding in my experience, 90% of them or more are not active and I'm removing them. But again, use your own discretion and see what your results look like for you. Now, I definitely think FollowerSearch is the best interface to use if you want to quickly, sort by total tweets and open up a bunch of tabs and quickly remove, because it does let you click the username to open that person's account in Twitter right then and there. With the other tool we're going to talk about next, you have to take a few different steps to pull up someone's account. It's not as easy to just click to remove them as a follower. However, this next tool we're going to talk about provides more than just a Twitter join date. It actually provides a last activity date. So a date last tweeted or retweeted. So if you're just looking for a simple cleanup of accounts that were created and might be sock accounts or dummy accounts, or they created, followed a bunch of people and literally never used Twitter at all, FollowerSearch is probably adequate. But if you want to do a little bit of a deeper dive and look back at people that may have had hundreds of tweets prior and were a truly active account at some point, but just have abandoned Twitter, they don't use it at all anymore, they haven't signed in or had any activity in a couple of years, you should definitely follow along with the second tool. And together with what we're able to do in FollowerSearch, we'll be able to replicate what we used to do all in UnfollowerStats. So let's take a look over there. So the second tool is Twitonomy. And again, the reason we're using two tools is because I think combined, they both replace the features that UnfollowerStats used to have. And they still, for whatever reason, have API access to do what they do. With Twitonomy, there's a ton of analytical features that you can use, and it's cool. You can take a look at who your most influential users are. You can take a look at, in the last couple of hours, what your engagements have been like. As you can see, I'm getting like 150 engagements in a 24-hour period. That's already way higher than I used to get. That is a small sample size, however. So take a look at these different insights if you want, but the main thing we're looking to do is to find inactive followers and followings. Remember, following is accounts that your profile follows, and followers is accounts that follow your account. There are two things I like a lot about Twitonomy. They have a last tweet section, which allows you to sort by activity. And if you're following someone and you want to unfollow them, you can quickly unfollow them in one click. That doesn't make them stop following you. It just lets your account stop following the account you're selecting unfollow for. Where it gets a little bulky is when you do want to make someone unfollow you. FollowerSearch was faster at that, and UnfollowerStats was pretty much one click to do it. So if they ever come back, refer to the first part of this video and learn how to use UnfollowerStats. But if you do want to stop following people, you can come through and sort by your criteria. These people haven't tweeted in at least 3 months. And if they're not active, what am I following them for, right? But use your own discretion and your own criteria. And you can very quickly click these unfollow buttons, and you'll no longer be following these accounts. Now, this is something I would recommend on an ongoing basis, maybe every 3 months. And again, this is free. Come and check this. And anyone that hasn't been active in 3 months, consider doing a small cleanup. Just a basic cleaning. It's not really completely necessary, but it will help you keep your engagement really tight. The third thing I really like about Twitonomy is it shows you how many times somebody is listed. If you're not familiar with Twitter lists, it's something that you can use to add accounts to. Anyone that's on that list, you can pull up their tweets in one feed, and you don't need to be following those accounts to look at this list. If you follow a lot of influencer accounts and you're interested in what they have to say, but you just don't want these large influencers to be part of your following and or follower count because they're not likely to engage with you, right? You can either sort by listed or total follower count, and you could take some of these accounts and create lists on Twitter, add them to these lists so you can see their tweets when you want to, and then remove them from your following and or followers. It's really easy to do, and even though we're going to get the data with Twitonomy's help, we actually do need to do this in Twitter, so I'm going to split screen it. And let's use Ian Rappaport as an example. I like following his sports news, but I don't need to see him every day on my feed. I can check my list when I want to see what's going on in sports. I'm going to create a highly listed list, and this is where I'm going to add some of these, highly listed influencers that I don't want to follow anymore. And then go ahead and add. You can make the list private if you want. You can keep it public, your choice. And you can go through this list. Again, if someone has a lot of followers or if they're listed many times, that's a good indicator that they are an influencer. And unless you know them personally, they're probably not interacting with you or engaging with your content. So if you make this decision that you want to use this as part of your strategy to increase your engagement and make a tighter audience on Twitter, just run through this either by sorting by the high follower or the high listed count until you're comfortable with how you've sorted them. And then the last thing I want to take a look at is using this last tweet column. Now, if you're starting with FollowerSearch and you're going through the people who have 0 tweets or they've tweeted 100 times, but they joined a decade ago and they haven't tweeted in 6 years, I would recommend starting with FollowerSearch and going through a couple pages of inactive accounts over there because it's so much easier just to click the profile open and then click the remove follower button and keep it moving. It's way faster. If you're not using FollowerSearch at all, this is totally free, so you can start here. Or if you've used FollowerSearch, but you're starting to get to a point where, people tweeted a lot, but you still can't tell if they're active without manually reviewing every single account. It's starting to become more time consuming than it's worth. That's when you want to switch over to Twitonomy and start using this last activity filter. And by doing it that way, you'll give yourself a nice balance of using the more efficient user interface to remove what's obviously ghost engagement accounts, and then coming over to the tool with the data field that's not available on Tool 1 to finish off the rest of it. Now that I've cleared out pages and pages of accounts that had 0 tweets or 5 tweets or 10 tweets and basically got through all the easy to find ghost followers on FollowerSearch, I'm exclusively working over here in Twitonomy to finish out the rest. I had gone through dozens and dozens of pages of followers that hadn't been active in over 10 years before UnfollowerStats lost their API. And I've got to do all the people that haven't been active in at least a year to the 8 years I was up to in UnfollowerStats over here in Twitonomy. So let's do a quick run through of how to use that field, what the data means and what it doesn't mean, and then how to use it the most effectively with the kind of wonky interface that Twitonomy has. Now with Twitonomy, we have a column that says last tweet. That means the last time an account tweeted or retweeted something. It doesn't include data on if they've liked something or signed in or sent someone a DM. For our intents and purposes, if someone hasn't tweeted or retweeted something in a long time, it's safe to assume that they're a ghost follower.
Now, when you see NA, that means not available. That means that this person's either never tweeted or that their account is on private, so Twitonomy can't pull the data to see when the last time they tweeted was. For those, you might want to go through and use your own discretion. What I suggest doing is moving forward in your search results and going to a search results page where you start to see some actual tangible data. So you can see I go a few pages in and I can see that last tweets were over a year ago. This is when I want to start removing people. If I'm hovering over it, I can see that some of these tweets are from many, many years ago. So just as we've been doing before, these are the accounts I want to remove. With Twitonomy, it's not as easy to just click, get to the profile, and hit that remove button. We do actually have to go to Twitter and type in the username, click on their profile. When you search with their handle with the @ you can jump right to their profile and then click those 3 dots to manually remove someone. You can also check each account manually to see when the last time they liked something was, if you want to make sure that they're truly inactive. One other tip I wanted to share for productivity is creating a split screen and then zooming out on the Twitter window just enough so you could make this search bar in the top right corner appear. And then you can copy the Twitter handles from your Twitonomy list, paste it over into your split screen, and just very quickly go and remove the profiles you want to remove. It'll go much faster this way.
And I've made a big dent in reviving an old Twitter account. I've already seen progress and I'm not even all the way through my analytics. But I wanted to stop and I wanted to record this because I figured there were other people out there trying to find an app that does something like this, or wondering if they could clean up a Twitter account that's inactive for whatever reason that they need to get their engagement fixed on. So I stopped and I recorded this video and I hoped it helped. Links in the description. I don't think they have an affiliate program, but if anyone ever asks, say Kat sent you. And other than that, Twitter's a great place to connect with people, learn new things, see different perspectives on different topics. And it's a lot more fun when you have an audience of people that you're connected with that are active and you get to be active back. So go out there and give your Twitter the revamp that it needs. And tune into our next videos. If you're looking for help doing the same thing with Facebook and Instagram, I'll have videos made on that. If they're ready already, you'll see cards. Thanks so much for stopping by, and share this with a friend if you think they might have use for this. I really love sharing things that I learn and do the work to research. That way other people don't have to go through that process. I don't believe in hoarding information. So if you can help me grow this channel, if you found this valuable, it's paying it forward to me. So thank you so much. Have a good one.